Were you ever underestimated at that time? And how did you respond to that?
It's interesting. I've been really lucky, I think, with my leadership peers, be they in sales, professional services, pre-sales, HR. Um, I when I moved into that role, I had a very, very strong VP of EMEA,
Mm.
ultimately responsible. They were responsible for the commercial side of the business, but acted like a general manager. And they truly understood the value of marketing. And so always had my back. And that hasn't been the case in roles since then. But predominantly, I've been very lucky. But they understood that value of marketing and they were able to make sure, as that kind of GM role, that everyone was on the journey together, that we were going from our current place into a period of growth and investment. The company that I worked for was PE backed, and they had investment from a really good PE organization that was growth rather than kind of stripping the assets out and taking costs right the way down. And so they had my back when it came to the marketing initiatives that I wanted to do. And I think it only takes a couple, if you know your stuff as a marketing leader, it only takes a couple of success metrics, and knowing your numbers and showing where you are adding value for you to get buy-in. And luckily, this VP of EMEA was very, very pro marketing, and you're able to prove the value that you add. And they would go out and fight my corner with others who may have been more of a naysayer, or marketing aren't really adding any value, or they're not helping me. So I got lucky in that role. And I think knowing the stats, the figures, and what they saw as success has been really important for me, because I can then use those in subsequent roles to show the value.
Yeah.
And it's been helpful having such a strong VP. I think if I'd been up against it and they didn't value marketing, you're constantly, swimming to try and stay afloat, right? And they're chucking more water on top of you, and you're like, no, I'm here. We're doing good stuff. But having that support, I think, was really, really important, and
Yeah.
I got lucky in that
Yeah.
perspective. That perspective.
And I mean, for somebody who's maybe watching this or listening to this and listening to you talk, who might not be, as fortunate with that kind of internal support and that kind of leadership, from what you've learned over time, and have there been any situations where you were underestimated, and have you learned anything along the way since then where you feel, okay, this is how I cope with that, this is how I deal with that, and this is how I...
No, you're not. I will say, if you are in demand marketing, I'm in demand marketing, I'm driving pipeline, know your numbers. You need to know your numbers inside and out. You need to be in your dashboards every single day. Obviously not applicable if you are a brand marketeer or someone else. You should still be aware of that business rhythm and the numbers. But as a demand marketeer, field marketing, regional marketing, driving growth, driving pipeline, you need to know exactly what you're delivering on any given day, where you are against your target, and what are the levers that you need to move, what are the dials you need to change in order to impact that. And so you've got to understand some of the undercurrent of the pieces. What are the channels that are driving it? Is it digital? Is it like you pay media? Is it events? Is it outbound BDR organization are doing really, really good job? What is it that's driving that? And so knowing your numbers at any given moment gives you the ammunition to be able to say, well, our target was this. We have delivered this. This is how we've done it. These are the highs. These are the lows. These are the things we'll definitely do again. This is what we've realized hasn't worked, and we failed fast, and we're going to flip that to what we know works. And it also gives you that ability to answer back when someone points the finger and says, oh, marketing aren't delivering, marketing aren't doing this, because you've got an agreed set of KPIs. You've got an agreed set of targets that are typically determined between sales ops and sales leadership and marketing leadership and marketing analytics up front. And so you're then able to go in and say, we are delivering here. Yes, we're not doing so well here, but this is what we're doing about it. So making sure you've got that shared understanding, but knowing your numbers and being able to speak to them with particularly your sales stakeholders, your sales leaders is really, really important.
You almost make it sound easy.
No, it's not. And because they all, even though the data is backing it up, there are and have been sales leaders in my past that will pick it apart. And even when others come and say, no, they are really the numbers.